We're recapping the action from last weekend. We're gonna check back and see what these guys are up to a little bit later. Oh yeah, and we're throwing it back for the decades. This is the Pace Lab. Hello everyone, I'm Jessie Punch and welcome to the Pace Lab. If you haven't noticed, things are a little different here this week, and that's because it's Darlington weekend, which means it's throwback weekend. We are still going to be breaking down last weekend's action and looking ahead to the weekend at Darlington with a little help from Justin Haley and Kaz Grala joining me later on. But first, let's check out some of NASCAR's other series. The K&N Pro Series East and West were racing together on Friday at Gateway. NASCAR Next driver Derek Kraus came out on top. He led the final 37 laps to take the win, third K&N Pro Series win this season for Kraus. And on Saturday, very exciting finish to the ARCA Series race at Berlin Raceway. Joe Graf Jr. was battling Zane Smith for the lead coming into turn 3. Graf took the bottom, which sent Smith up the track, leaving the door open for Joe Graf Jr. to take the checkered flag, his first career win in the ARCA Series. And the Pinty Series was in action on Sunday before the truck race at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park. Second win this season for Alex Tagliani. He led the final 22 laps, beat Kevin LaCroix to the finish line by a second and a half. The playoffs for the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series are off to an unbelievable start. Or, well, should I say, an unbelievable finish. After a late race caution, the field is set up to restart with just 2 laps to go. Todd Gilliland in front with teammate and winner of both stages Noah Gragson beside him. Justin Haley in the 24 on the second row there. Coming down to the final turns, it's Noah Gragson chasing Todd Gilliland. He makes contact, sending them both spinning, and Haley dodges the contact to take the checkered flag. Second time this season. What a finish and what a win for Justin Haley. Rough into the day though for those two teammates. Here's what they had to say after the race.
Should have never let him get to me. Should have just given him the inside and maybe let him wreck himself. I don't know. He's done that to me on like 5 or 6 road courses. It sucks. We had the fastest truck and we didn't win again. I'm gonna have to talk to him for sure.
How do you address this with a teammate?
I'd go fight him right now, but I can't, and I just need to, I guess, get my emotions in check and go talk to him, but I'm extremely mad.
That one's on me. I mean, racing for the win. It's my teammate. I apologize to Todd. I apologize to the 14. Apologize to everyone at Cowbush Motorsports, but we're in the playoffs, and I'm trying to get a win. I was squirting the throttle right there, in between 9 and 10, in between them, right there, and just wasn't quite there. But man, just unfortunate. That one's on me. Just trying to get a little bit too much, trying to win. Wins are so big here. Just mainly apologize to Todd and the 14.
How do you address it with your teammate?
That's just handled later. Right now, it's just all about getting back and regrouping, focusing on Vegas. I wasn't trying to take him out. I was expecting him just to give me a little bit more room there on the bottom, and it just wasn't there. It wasn't meant to be, but yeah, just apologize to everyone.
With me this week is driver of the number 24 Chevy for GMS Racing, a repeat, as always, guest host here on the Pace Lab, Justin Haley. Justin, welcome back.
I can't believe the fans at home haven't got tired of me yet.
Yeah,
so,
well, you know.
Nice to be back.
Yeah, it makes them, I mean, I can't say the same for me, but, you know.
It's all good.
I'm just kidding. It's always fun having you on the show because I feel like you're somebody that I can kind of like banter with, and you get my jokes. You get my humor.
For sure, a little bit.
A little bit, yeah. Well, I guess we'll see. We're going to have some fun today. It's Throwback Day. You have your nice throwback gear on. Thanks for participating. But first, I have to ask you about your win. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. It was really cool to go up there to Canadian Tire Motorsports Park and get the win. I've been chasing a road course victory forever. I've finished second in so many, probably a good handful of them. So I've done a lot of road course racing over the years, and it's finally nice to get the monkey off my back.
Well, you were in third heading into that final turn. What went through your mind when you saw the contact on the track in front of you before you had to dodge all of the mess there on the track? But what was going through your mind?
Yeah, well, you know, you've seen in the past years, you know, Canada always comes down to some contact on the last lap. So I knew Noah was going to be pretty aggressive with Todd, and Todd was going to be aggressive blocking because he's trying to get his first win. Noah's trying to get locked in the round of 6, and I was kind of in the catbird seat, like I said. I was hoping they would get into each other. I didn't know how it was going to play out, but my spotter came on the radio and said, hey, they're probably going to get into each other here, and just be ready for it. And obviously he informed me that they did, and to go low, and the hole was there in the opening, and the seas parted, and we got our second victory of the year.
Did that happen so fast? I know for someone watching it, it happened so fast. I don't think I know what happened until they announced that you had won. I can't imagine how you felt.
Yeah, it was really, I mean, it was fast for sure. That last lap, I knew we didn't have the speed to go up there and run with the KBM guys. They had a little faster motors last weekend. So I just kind of let Noah and him go, and I just made sure I had a good last lap. There was plenty of room out back. There was no one around me. So I was just kind of running my lap, and obviously those two got in contact. So it did happen pretty quickly, but it was definitely all worth it.
I'm glad you mentioned before both of them had very high stakes. Gilliland obviously racing for his first win, and Noah racing for that spot to carry on in the playoffs. But there's been a lot of controversy coming out of this race because they're teammates, and people have been questioning why it ended like that. Do you think that either of them were at fault, or they should have done anything differently?
No, I don't think so. You know, at first everyone has their first reaction and thoughts about it, but looking back on it, you know, Todd was not in the wrong, and Noah was not in the wrong. They were both just trying to do what they thought they had to do. And as a driver, I can confirm that, you know, it's a split-second decision. You know, it's happens all pretty quickly. So, you know, I think, you know, Todd probably could have gave Noah some room, and Noah probably could have, you know, tried to pass a little bit better. But both of them were just racing hard, and that's part of it.
Well, you're actively competing against 4 teammates. Have you ever been in a compromising position like that, or do you know how you would handle being in that scenario? Yeah,
well, I think any team that brings, you know, multiple cars to the racetrack that are competitive, you're going to see them, you know, get into a fluster every once in a while. You know, KBM brings really fast Toyotas, and GMS brings really fast Chevys, and ThorSport. You know, there's several teams that bring 4 or 5 trucks each. So I've been in situations where me and Johnny have been racing hard, and we've gotten into contact with each other. But it's just part of it. We make up. We're racers, and it's part of it. You just got to learn.
I want to take it back and focus on you. I want to check out the playoff points from the truck standings here, because now you're good to go through Talladega. You are on to the next round, solidified that spot with the win. But what, besides P1 here, what sticks out to you on this playoff board?
Yeah, well, we came in to Mosport, Canadian Tire Motorsports Park, in the 7th seed, which now Ben Rhodes is in. And Ben was a little higher up, so I think you still see the top 3 that were there. They're in the top 3. Crafton jumped up to 5th. He was behind me, so I think everyone's goal was to go into Canada and have a good points day. That was our goal, and we actually scored the most points. So you didn't see as many people have early issues as you would have thought, because, you know, we all wanted to have a good points day. So I think you do see Enfinger. He's back there. He really has no road course background. So sticks out to me that there's 3 GMS trucks in the top 6 right now, and that's pretty good.
I do want to ask you about Darlington going into this weekend. I feel like you can give me a little bit of knowledge on that track. But first, let's check out the Xfinity highlights from last weekend at Wisconsin. 62-year-old Hall of Famer Bill Elliott in the field for this race, back in a race car for the first time since 2012. Sporting a nice rookie stripe on the back this week. Heading into this race, drivers still fighting for a spot in the playoffs and for that regular season title. Matt Tifft, one of those guys battling for his spot, started on the pole. He led the first 10 laps to earn the playoff point and take stage 1. First stage win this season for Tifft. Stage 2 went to Daniel Hemrick, who led 7 laps in the second stage. That's his 3rd stage win this season. He's now sitting 5th in the point standings. Contact late in the race between British driver Catherine Legg and Bill Elliott knocks them both out of position. Great recovery, though, by both drivers. Catherine bounced back for a 14th place finish. Pretty good, considering that's only her 2nd stock car race this season. Lap 32, Justin Allgaier takes the lead, but just 6 laps later, a late race caution resets the field. Allgaier Still up front though on the restart, but Australian driver James Davison gets a nice push from teammate Christopher Bell to jump in front of Allgaier to take the lead. But on lap 39, Allgaier regains that first place spot, passing Davison, and he holds it for the final 7 laps of the race. 7 laps seems fitting for the number 7 car. Allgaier now with 4 wins this season, his first win at Road America. With us now is the driver of the 61 Ford for Fury Race Cars, Kaz Grala. Kaz, welcome. Justin, sorry you didn't get the memo. We'll include you in the group text next time, but matching shirts is the way to get here on the Pace Lab. Kaz, always happy to have you.
Thank you.
So I want to look back at your weekend, last weekend at Road America. Did get off track a little bit towards the end of the race, but came back for an 11th place finish. Talk to me about that.
It was quite an up and down weekend all around for us. At Road America, that was my first time racing there, and it's a tough place. We were struggling with brake issues, so we seemed to have some decent speed, but then every once in a while I'd lock up and that would put us behind. So that's what happened. I'd gotten all the way up to 8th towards the end there with about 10 laps to go, and then wheel hopped it and spun around, had to climb back through the field. I went all the way back to 25th. And then came back to 11th. So it was a bittersweet ending. Decent recovery for us, for sure, but it was frustrating because I know that we could have been a little bit better had that not happened.
Allgaier obviously came out on top of that race, and after the race there was a lot of praise from Twitter. Something that I thought was really interesting. Dale Earnhardt Jr., his owner, takes to Twitter to say Allgaier belongs in the Cup Series. That's a pretty big compliment, not only from Junior, but from your team owner. What does a compliment like that mean for somebody who's having a season like Allgaier is?
I mean, that's huge, and it just helps boost your confidence, which Allgaier already has plenty of for sure, because he's had a heck of a season. So I think that's really, really cool for him. But really, I completely agree with it. I mean, what it takes to race at the Cup level is just making 0 mistakes, and that's where Allgaier's really able to capitalize on these wins, because a lot of us rookies can go out there and put down really fast laps, and some of them are in really top equipment, so they are quick, but rookies make mistakes, and that's where Allgaier really jumps in at the end, because he just gets all the way to the checkered without making a single mistake, and so I think he'd be good at the Cup level if he got a shot.
That leads me to something that was brought up in the past couple weeks, and the rule change in Xfinity and keeping the Cup drivers from driving in all of the Xfinity races. Do you have an opinion on that?
I think it's good to limit them, but I don't think that they should take them out completely, because it does help bring some exposure and drive viewership to our races, because when Kyle Busch is in the race, people either love to root for him or love to hate against him, but either way they're having a reaction to the race. So that is a good part of it, and selfishly I like having them just because we can learn from them. But I like that they limit them so that they can't run all the races like they used to be able to. At least that gives us a chance at some of the races when there aren't Cup drivers.
I do want to look ahead to this weekend, and neither of you have run in person at Darlington, but I did find out that you guys ran over the video game a couple times last night in prep for today, so I do appreciate your homework and your research. Thank you. But Darlington, though, it's a historic track. It's very well known on the circuit, and it carries somewhat of prestige. It's somewhere that drivers want that trophy. They want to say they have a win at Darlington. Do you feel that amongst drivers, that Darlington is one of those tracks to kind of mark off your bucket list, per se?
I mean, I think so, because there are certain tracks that we go to that we all know are just really hard. Like, forget racing the competitors, it's just hard to make a lap at these places. And so Darlington is probably at the top of the list.
It's also fun to win at Darlington in throwback weekend, because the paint schemes are throwback, the attire's throwback. You have guys in wigs, you have fans showing out. I want to ask you guys, though, if you were running in throwback weekend, would you have a paint scheme that you would prefer to run?
I'd think about running a Richie Evans throwback for sure, being the number 61. Put a little orange on that car. I think that would be really cool to see, and I'm sure people would love to see a car like that on the track again. I
know, I'd love to see that. That'd be neat. Justin?
Yeah, and I really think it's cool. I don't think I'd really have a personal favorite that I'd like to go back and run, but I really like Casey Kane's car this weekend, throwing it back to his 9 car days, and it looks pretty similar. So that was cool for Casey to do that, and obviously he's retiring. So it's cool that he gets to throw it back to the times where he was winning a lot.
Absolutely. And as we said before about Darlington, it's definitely one of those standout tracks on the circuit, and not just because of its shape and the throwback and all of that, but also because it's had some pretty monumental moments and monumental finishes. Are there any standout moments that you guys can think of from Darlington over the years?
Well, in my short lifetime, I don't quite stretch back to some of the earlier ones that were really cool, but just recently for me, back in 2014, I saw Chase Elliott win there in the what was then the Nationwide Series, and I remember watching him beat the Cup guys and thinking to myself, like, oh my God, he's an 18-year-old rookie in this car, and he won that race. How cool would that be? So that was one thing that kind of made me think, that's what I want to do. I want to be one of those young guys getting to outrace those guys. So that was really awesome to see.
Yeah, and I think we've been talking about it this morning, Kurt Busch and Ricky Craven, when they had that close finish in earlier years. I wasn't too old, don't remember it too much, but you see it on TV all the time.
Because you're so young, I have a feeling you didn't grow up watching many of these throwback games or TV shows that we're referencing this weekend. But that being said, that might make this a little bit more fun. We're gonna play the Newlywed Game.
Oh man.
You guys know what the Newlywed Game is?
I've seen the remake of it that they play now.
The remake.
The remake. There you go. There you have it. That's it right there. No, but you guys aren't newlyweds, but you're best friends.
Yep.
So should work just the same. We're gonna see how well you guys know each other or don't
You ready for this?
know
This
each
should
other.
be good.
We'll see if you're still best friends at the end of this. Yeah? All right, well, let's see how well you guys actually know each other. You say you're best friends, but we're best friends. I'm gonna be asking a question. You're both gonna be answering for each other. And then I'll ask you the answer, and we'll see how well your answers match up.
I definitely can see your board, so.
And don't cheat.
I'll play it.
Justin, I'm looking at you. Okay, first question. What are each other's go-to karaoke songs?
I don't know if I've ever karaokeed in my life.
I don't think I've ever even heard him sing, luckily.
Okay, so maybe not karaoke, but what do you think he sings to himself in the car?
I'm not even gonna write anything
Don't
down.
look at me,
I just
I
don't
can't.
know.
Well, we'll ask first because Justin can't come up with an answer. Proving that Kaz is the winner.
Yeah, this is not going well.
So,
He's not going to answer this, but it's accurate.
what is your go-to karaoke song or song to sing in the car?
I just like alternative rock. That's my favorite genre.
I guess that's what he calls this.
Some weird Spencer Gallagher remix.
It's pretty accurate.
That's also true. He listens to just like rap or like hip hop, right?
Strangest thing you've ever done while driving a race car? If you caught Kaz's last interview while he was here, he gave us a great story about his first pit stop. So we'll see if Justin knows, and maybe
Man,
that'll
you just
be.
gave it away.
Oh, wow, that was unfortunate.
Hang on, I'm a slow rider here. All right.
All right. What is the strangest thing Kaz has done while driving a race car?
He had a pit stop for a juice box one time. Oh man, I'm breaking the board.
Is that right, Kaz?
I did, yeah.
Stop
I
for a
did stop
juice
for a
box.
pit stop for a juice box.
Justin, what is the strangest thing you've done in a race car?
You know, I'm not sure, but I don't know if I've done anything weird in a race car. So let's see what Kaz has.
Well, some other guys didn't go below the yellow line,
Ooh.
and he did, so.
That's an
there
aggressive
was that
strategy.
one time.
That's not probably the strangest thing, but maybe one of the more stupid things.
Oh boy. Question number 3. If you won the Daytona 500, what is the first thing you would buy with the prize money?
No, he knows my answer.
Do I?
I feel like it should just be chicken wings. I feel like that's my go-to, is just chicken wings.
First text he sends me after he wins most sport, bring chicken wings.
Bring chicken wings. There
The
you go.
first
And did you bring
thing
him chicken wings?
I
He
did,
would
yeah.
That's a
buy.
good friend right there.
This is so much harder than I thought it would be.
Yeah. No, actually, hang on. Hang on.
Oh.
Wow, I can't spell.
Oh my gosh, he's so right though. He knows me.
You just openly cheated. Okay, so since we already know that he's right,
Yeah.
Justin, what's the first thing you would buy?
He's gonna buy
a
some
car.
dirt mods. Yeah.
That's correct?
I would get a selective inventory of dirt race cars to run. I think I went with flamethrower though, because he already has one. I bought him a flamethrower, but then
I'd
I
buy
took
a bigger
it back.
one. I'd buy like one
So
that
he-
has a backpack
Yeah.
part to it, so you can really throw big.
I bought him a flamethrower, but then I kind of took it back for myself.
Okay, let's give you guys one final question before we wrap up this game. This is probably the most difficult one I will give you.
They've all
So
been
far.
so hard.
Well, get ready. Who is the better shuffleboard player?
Oh, so you have done some stalking.
No, Kaz and I have hung out since I've seen you last, by the way, so.
We all know the answer.
Yeah, we really
All right,
do.
guys, who's the better shuffleboard player? Oh, you really are the better shuffleboard player. I didn't see that.
I
one
mean,
coming.
it's in my house, so I
Yeah.
just go downstairs
Yeah.
and practice all day.
All right, well, now that we've wrapped up the newlywed game, I do have a fast fact for you guys in honor of Throwback Week. This fast fact takes it all the way back to 1930. So here's our fast fact about Darlington. In 1932, Harold Brasington was inspired to build his own racetrack after attending the 20th running of the Indianapolis 500. He traded more than $30,000 in raceway stock for 123 acres of cotton and tobacco farmland to build his own racetrack in Darlington, South Carolina. There was one condition though. He could build a racetrack as long as it didn't disturb the minnow pond and small farmhouse on land. In order to abide by this request, Brasington had to make one end of the track narrower than the other. Thus, the provision that literally shaped the future of Darlington Raceway. All right, guys, so Kaz took round one of our Pace Lap throwback games and then challenged you to some ping pong. So instead, let's play the original pong, see who's first to 11.
Sounds good.
It's on like
You ready?
off to a terrible start.
4-0. He's getting a little angry over here. Just hit it. It's not that hard. Just hit.
I'm having flashbacks to the Pocono jump restart.
There it is. Come on. Oh, this is an easy
Here we go.
win.
Here we go.
Oh.
I got it. I got it. I'm gonna have a comeback right here.
Oh, you're terrible. 10-1. This
Dead
is
man.
it.
Game point.
The scoreboard up. Oh, really chucked that to me. Good rebound. Oh, missed it. Wow,
All right.
what a shame.
All right, one loss. Oh yeah, I'm gonna win the next two. Why are you so good at this?
Did you even move?
This is so hard.
What was that? Ugh.
We got a real rally going, you guys.
Ooh, I didn't even move.
Good. Happy for you.
Oh no.
At least you're planning not to move and just hope it
That's
comes.
exactly my plan. I figure go right in the middle of the screen and maybe it'll hit me.
Oof. All right, this is a closer game than the last one.
Ooh.
okay,
Oh,
okay.
this is bad.
I gotta line myself up just perfectly. Ooh. Wow, just missed it by inches.
Tied at 8.
This is bad.
If I win this game, it's over, bro.
This is really bad.
It's lagging. It's lagging. I want to rerun. It comes
All
down
right,
to this.
here we go. Here we go. This is like every day for us. He starts strong, I finish strong. I always win at the end. All right. Rallying.
Watch for the bounce back. Oh, yeah, watch for the bounce back, bro. What are you doing?
Do you guys see yourself playing much Pong in the
No.
future?
This is
it. I'm
absolutely
angry.
frustrating.
Ooh, if you didn't move, you would have been fine.
This is a rough game for me.
You nail this. Perfect. We're getting close. I'm really feeling it.
We're getting close. Don't call it a
I
comeback,
gotta-
ladies and gentlemen.
I gotta rally back.
No. It's all going downhill far too quickly.
Oh. You spoke too soon, Justin.
Okay, that's what I need. Come on, one more point. One more point.
First thing
What
he's
a
ever
way to
won
win
against.
right there.
Like, right there. That was a close game.
It was a close game. Best 2 out of 3. I think it looked like Justin might have come out on top of that one.
Yeah, how you feeling about losing?
Well, we're 1-1. I won a game, you won, so we gotta do tiebreaker here.
Tie
Yeah,
it
we're
up.
gonna settle this with a little bit of Rock'em Sock'em Robots. But before we get to that, let's see what Jamie McMurray had to say on the lap description this week.
So Darlington, one of the slickest tracks that we run on. especially after 15 or 20 laps on tires. The big thing here is to try to clip that apron on entry. As the tires wear out, you actually keep turning in lower and lower. It allows the car to have a little room to slide up. The line here doesn't really signify how close you get to the wall. You want to try to exit again with your left front below. You're actually not even on the racetrack as the tires start to wear out. Trying to get below that white line. Turn 3 is the exact same thing. You're wanting to clip that white line on entry just a little. A lot of guys will run low in 3 and 4. Seems like it's been a good line the last few years. But man, it's a really fun track, and it's crazy how slick it gets after a few laps.
All right, boys, it's all tied up. Now we have a tiebreaker here. Best 2 out of 3 in Rock'em Sock'em Robots.
Sounds good.
But before any fight, we have to shake hands, be good sports. I'm gonna let you guys battle it out and
All right,
let you
3,
handle
2, 1.
Oh man.
I took the dub on round 1
All right,
there.
3, 2, 1. Oh no!
That's already 2 out of 3 right
That's
there.
2 out of 3.
Domination.
Oh, that was me
That
that
was,
time.
yeah, I think that was you. All right, that's 2 wins for me, 1 for you.
I don't
for
even
me.
try. You just go ahead.
3 for me.
You need to wait for me.
Go.
See, anytime that I actually try.
2 and 3. That was close.
That
That
was
was
me.
Darlington.
That was me. That was me, people. It's tied up. I feel
3,
like
3.
one
All
last
right,
round.
tiebreaker.
Tiebreaker right here.
2, 1.
I won. I
don't know who
wait
that
a
was.
I
minute.
think I won.
I don't know
Wait
who
a
that
minute.
was.
How do you have a tiebreaker and you both win at the same time?
I think the blue came up first.
One more tiebreaker. 3, 2, 1.
Justin won that one, but
I think
I won
Justin
the
might have
first
taken
2.
that one. So
Technically, I won the 2 out of 3.
it was a valiant effort, Kaz, but I'm gonna have to award you with our second place disco ball
Oh,
here.
second
Pace
place.
lap
Oh,
branded.
nice.
And Justin, the
Lava
coveted pace lap throwback lava lamp.
It's
First
amazing.
place. Given
This
to
is
you.
beautiful. Thank you.
Of course, I expect to see these on the dashboards of your cars. I'm gonna let you guys play some Rock'em Sock'em Robots, but I have to go over the weekend schedule because we have a lot of racing this weekend. Starting the weekend with the NASCAR Xfinity Series in Darlington, the Sports Clips Haircuts VFW 200. Also on Saturday, NASCAR Wheel and Modified Tour. And on Sunday, kicking off the throwback events, the Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series is running in Darlington, the Bojangles Southern 500. And wrapping up the weekend on Sunday, it's the ARCA Series General Tire Grabber 100. Well, guys, like I said, thanks for participating. Valiant efforts on both ends. I don't know that I could have done any better at Pong or Rock'em Sock'em than you guys did.
For sure. I'm just glad I got bragging rights over Kaz for a little while.
No, not for long.
Well, that's all for this episode of The Pace Lap. I'm Jessie Punch here with Justin Haley and Kaz Grala. Thanks for watching. We'll see you at the track.